Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the live stream. Glad that you are a part of this. Uh, Hope you like the new layout. I'm experimenting with some stuff, trying to make this happen. Glad you are here. I am Mike. I am the student ministries pastor at Vineyard Gilbert, Arizona. Big welcome to all students that are here and anybody watching us. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe on this page. Yeah, wow is right. We're throwing a lot at you. Um, So, um, I've been really trying to catch up on my to-do list, and I was just talking with Becca about this right now. That part of my to-do list is, as I'm learning this and doing communications and streaming and all of that, there's a lot that I don't know, and it's been on my to-do list to learn about some of this stuff. And hey, hi, Dad. And so last night I spent a good chunk of time watching some YouTube videos, trying to make that. Trying to make that happen. And so, yeah, just trying to get stuff out there, make it happen. So today is gonna, I was talking about the midweek recharge, and so listen, a couple things. One, if you have some stuff to say, definitely use the chat. However, if the chat starts getting out of hand, and it, I'll disable the chat because I am a dictator. That's what I do. And so something I just wanted to share as kind of a midday recharge, not just the midday recharge in regards to, unfortunately, I don't have coffee, or Dayton, I don't have pizza. I apologize. But just something that I was doing my devotional this morning, and I was making time and trying to get stuff done and do and make it happen. And hold on one second. All right, let's see. All right. So, something I wanted to read in my devotional. Now, no watermelon today. We can maybe do watermelon discussion at the end. But something that I wanted to read today. So, I was doing my devotional. And in my devotional, they were doing this. The topic was how to pray. And so, don't worry, I'm not going to be going through a prayer tutorial. And at first, I'm not going to lie, that's what I thought it was like a prayer tutorial. I'm like, all right, I'm going to see where this goes. And so, this is what stuck out to me. Now, for those of you that may know about this, those of you that may know this about me, I am big on the power of words, and you guys have talked, like if a student says a negative word about themselves, I really don't tolerate it, which is funny because then when I say things like I'm the world's worst youth pastor, people have no problem turning that back on me and being like, I thought that you weren't a big fan of words, Mike. I thought that words had power, and so they're right. But this is something I want to read. This is from Matthew chapter 18, verses 18 through 20 in the Message. Okay, this is Jesus talking. Take this most seriously. A yes on earth is a yes in heaven, and a no on earth is no in heaven. What you say to one another is eternal. I mean this. Now, that's not me saying it, that's Jesus saying it. When two of you get together on anything at all on earth and make a prayer of it, my Father in heaven goes into action. And when two or three of you are together because of me, you can be sure that I'll be there. And so here's the thing here was the thing that really stuck out to me in this whole process. Um, when it says, when it mentions this verse, Jesus takes my words more seriously than I do. The promise in Matthew gives my feeble prayers an authority far beyond my stature. So here's the thing. There's a writer named Pete Gregg, and this is what he wrote. In prayer, I'm not hoping to be heard by a distant and disinterested God. The King of Kings requests my presence at the very seat of government. He offers me a permanent place on his executive so that I can influence his actions on behalf of nations. So think about this. We'll say things, and we always, and you'll hear it in passing when we say things like, you'll hear phrases like, don't speak this over yourself, or don't say that, or words have power. But here's what he's saying, like, Jesus is saying, and he's not saying that we are God, But what he's saying is that when we talk about this whole partnering thing, when we talk about this whole partnering idea, excuse me, sorry, when we talk about this whole partnering idea of, you know, seeing what God is doing and going with it, it's not just this phrase of, oh, okay, well, I'm going to say a prayer. God is literally like giving us authority, saying when you say yes here, it's like a yes in heaven. Your no is like a no in heaven. When you guys are praying, what you're doing is putting my Father and I to work, and not like we're the boss, but he's saying like we're, it's activating them. It's sending them to action to partner with us now. They aren't waiting for us. Jesus and God aren't waiting for us. But what's happening is with this prayer, it's partnering with them. They are, and Jesus saying, when two or three of you are together. So I just want you to think about this. The words that you say and the words you speak over each other, I don't care what connotation, what concept. The words we speak to each other carry power. Whether it is a sarcastic comment that we throw out, there's power in that. Whether it, and think about it, and this is one of the things, and I'll share with experience. Um, I and I've talked about this, but I've been a pretty sarcastic person in the past, and as much as people think about, I'm not as sarcastic as I was, and by sarcastic I mean directed at people, poking fun at people, making fun of people. And here was the reason why, is I used to take joy in having the comment that would just like humble somebody, or having the comment that would like end the conversation, or like be the ultimate, like, you can't one up me on this. And I used to take it as a mark of pride that, you couldn't hang with me in that department, or so I thought. And there are times I struggle where when I see something happening, I'm like, man, I could say something that would level the room. But here's the thing that I realized, it's our words are powerful. And as much authority as we have, and here's the thing about it, we don't know the kind of authority that we have in people's lives. We don't know the kind of impact we have, and we may not realize it. There are times where somebody will, like, I've said something to somebody and they're like, wow, coming from you, that means a lot. I'm like, what the crap does that mean? Like, what matters if it comes from me? And what it is you don't realize the impact that you have on people, and sometimes that can be relationships, that can be friendships, or sometimes that can just be God-given authority that you have. And I'm not trying to tell you, man, recognize the authority you have and how important. No, what it's saying is you don't realize the power that you might have in this, and I say that as a warning of, our words carry power, and we can't have it both ways. We cannot pray with this power and expect to have this power, and then all of a sudden on the other end go, well, I was just joking, it's not that big of a deal. And if it sounds like I'm being a wet blanket, I probably am, but this just spoke to me in the when we pray. It wasn't the typical, okay, so when we pray, we're going to do 5-step prayer model, make sure that you get permission to put hands on the shoulder and all of that. This is talking about, okay, understand that when you pray, there's power there. That if you really are trying to partner with God, it's not you just throwing something up going, all right, God, I know it's a long shot that you listen to me. It's saying, no, like, you have this power, like, okay, God, we want to partner with you. Bring healing, or, peace, or, God, I need you right now. And somebody praying with you, like, that's where Jesus is saying, no, I'm going to be there, like, your words have power. So then why is it that when we start to make fun of people, whether it's the spirit of comparison, when it's when it's the comparison of, oh, really, you don't know that, or really, you can't do that, or yeah, I can do this, you can't, or whether it's just little shots that we take at each other, like, I'm going to make sure to establish my dominance in this way, just things like that. Like, how can we have this power when we pray, and then assume that when we say these things, well, it's just a joke, and then we use those powerful words to, like, receive that stuff, like, oh, it's okay, people make fun of me all the time, or, oh, it's okay, I know I have these problems and all of that. And I'm not saying that we have to be perfect and we're lying to each other saying like you're amazing at everything you do, but it's all in the approach. Like, you know, there are areas where I struggle and I'm not perfect. And I'm not asking for people to be like, to constantly just say, no, no, Mike, it's okay. But it's all in how we receive it and how we address it. And our words carry power in everything that we do. Now, normally in the youth pastor handbook, I would be telling you to take this and everywhere you go. But here's the thing: we're right now with the crowd that it's probably sometimes the hardest to use encouraging words to at times, and that's family, siblings, brothers, sisters, family that we are with all the time now, or in your people group that you're with all the time now. This is actually probably easier to practice this. This is not probably easier. It's probably harder to practice this in the group that we're in right now than it is, when we're out and hanging out and doing things. But that's my challenge. And when I say a midweek recharge today, it's just a recharge as a reminder, like, your words have power. That's why I always end my streams or my times by making sure you know that you're loved, because I want you to know that you are loved. And, I would just say, and I'm fine with joking, I'm fine with all of that stuff. But just making sure that you understand, be aware of the situation, be aware of who you're around, and being aware of, is what I'm saying really as a joke, really funny, or is it verging on the hurtful? And I'm talking about no matter where you are, adult, teen, whatever. I just want to remind you and recharge you that your words have power. And ultimately, I want you to be encouraged. There's a God who hears you. At the end of the day, there's a God who hears you. And that's what I want you to remember, is there's a God who hears you. Who, when you pray, is not just, you're not in just some line of requests. And, if there's time, he'll get to it. There's a God who hears you, who has given you the power and authority, saying, when you pray, when you do this, you're partnering with me on this. We're a team. We're a team on this. And it's not because he needs you, it's because he wants you. Like, think about that. You are wanted. Dayton, we will see you later. I'm much love to you. And I hope you get that pizza you want. But I just want you to think about that. Like, no, today, here's your recharge. You are loved. Like, God has given authority to your words. God has given authority to your words because you matter. You are his creation. You are loved. And I hope that you remember that. And so that's my midweek, my midday recharge for today. Tomorrow, we'll see where the wind takes us. Thursday, we're going to do Ask Mike Anything. Reminder on youth group. We do have youth group tomorrow night. Invite friends, invite people. We are going to continue going through the Jesus Storybook Bible and really understand, like, really seeking who God is, who the person of God is. And that's just been one of the benefits that I've seen from this. And so, reminder, we do have the visual challenge. We still have the visual challenge. We still have that going on. I was able to get some promotion out of it, get the word out. Shiloh has messaged me back and was like, okay, where do I send this to? It's on the mic. It's happening. So I'm excited for that. Not as excited as some people are for watermelon and Nutella. And for those of you that may be watching that aren't familiar with that, let's just say that to some people, maybe that are in my youth group, Nutella and watermelon seems to have some incredible power to it. So we'll see. Or in the right hands, I should say, in the right hands. So so I hope you all have a wonderful day. This was just a quick midday recharge. I hope you were paying attention to the graphic. If not, here, let me put this graphic up. We're not quite done just yet, but just to show you a little bit. They are inevitable. Okay, hold on. Just to show you a little bit, we do have our game nights. So Sunday nights have officially become game night. We do have the YouTube live stream. We do have the Wednesday night. Also, I want you to take a look. If you go to Spotify Worship, look up the VSM Worship Mix. If you go to Spotify and you look up hashtag VSM Worship Mix, you should be able to find our playlist. I have been using the Dwell app to get some Bible reading in and some Bible time when I do my DoorDash deliveries or when I'm just hanging out. I've been doing that, and it's cool because through I have been going through the Bible. I'm doing a chronological plan, and so it's been pretty crazy because it did the story of Adam and Eve and it went through it, and then it jumped over to Job. So it's doing like if you reordered the Bible in a specific chronological order, and that's been pretty incredible. So I would encourage you to do that. But I do want to let you know, like, we're going to just keep investing in this until a time that we can all come back together. We're going to keep making it happen. And so, yeah, that'll be the end. Invite your friends to this. We will do this again tomorrow at 2 p.m. And I look forward to talking with you then. Just remember that you are loved, you are special, and I cannot wait until we can be together again. Um, Yes, the text reminder list. I have not had a lot of people signing up for it as much as I want to, so I'm trying to make another push for it, and so I can get it going. But I will see you all later. I apologize, Abby. I'm going to make that happen. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will talk to you later. Bye.